The world of hip-hop and popular culture is filled with drama, scandals, and stories that often go untold or are hidden behind the glittering veneer of celebrity. This essay dives into the controversies surrounding some of the most prominent figures in the hip-hop industry: Jay-Z, Diddy, Ice Cube, and their connections with each other, as well as the darker corners of the music industry. We examine their careers, relationships, and the allegations and rumors that continue to swirl around them, shedding light on the lesser-known aspects of their lives. The rise of Jay-Z, from streets to success. Jay-Z, born Sean Corey Carter, is often regarded as one of the most influential figures in hip-hop, but his journey to the top was not without its bumps. From his humble beginnings in Brooklyn's Marcy Projects to becoming a global icon, Jay-Z's rise to fame was marked by shrewd business moves and strategic partnerships. His early years in the industry were spent navigating the harsh realities of street life while pursuing his passion for music. But as his success grew, so did the rumors about his relationships with other high-profile figures in the industry. This section would delve into Jay-Z's background, his early collaborations, and how his relationships with figures like R. Kelly and Diddy helped shape his career. Diddy's influence and the dark side of success. Sean "Diddy" Combs, once known as Puff Daddy, is another figure whose reputation has been marred by scandals and controversies. As a mogul, producer, and entrepreneur, Diddy transformed the hip-hop industry and helped launch the careers of some of its biggest stars. However, his path to success has not been without its questionable decisions. From the mysterious circumstances surrounding the death of his artist, the notorious B.I.G., to his alleged role in various legal and personal disputes, Diddy's legacy is complex. This section would explore the various legal issues Diddy has faced, the impact of his label Bad Boy Records, and the various allegations against him, including those related to abuse, manipulation, and his involvement in the music industry's darker elements. The Foxy Brown controversy. A teenage star in a grown-up world. One of the most disturbing aspects of the Jay-Z-Diddy R. Kelly controversy is the involvement of younger women in the industry. Foxy Brown, a teenage rapper who was signed to Def Jam in the late 90s, was at the center of one such alleged situation. At just 14 or 15 years old, Foxy was thrust into a world dominated by older men and the pressures of fame. The rumors surrounding her relationship with Jay-Z, who was in his mid-20s at the time, raised serious questions about the ethics of the music industry during that era. This section would look into the timeline of Foxy Brown's rise to fame, the nature of her relationships with older men, and the impact it had on her career. It would also delve into how the industry often exploited young women for their talent while ignoring the dangers of such exploitation. R. Kelly's dark legacy and the involvement of hip-hop's elite, Air. R. Kelly's name has become synonymous with allegations of abuse, manipulation, and illegal activity, particularly with young girls. His relationship with Aaliyah, who was married to him when she was just 15, remains one of the most controversial aspects of his career. Jay-Z's past collaborations with Kelly have raised eyebrows, particularly considering the numerous allegations against the R&B singer. As Jay-Z and R. Kelly were close collaborators, the questions about Jay-Z's awareness of Kelly's actions continue to emerge. This section would explore the timeline of R. Kelly's career, the controversies surrounding his relationships with young women, and how figures like Jay-Z, Diddy, and other celebrities responded or failed to respond to the accusations against him. The Aaliyah tragedy, a career cut short. Aaliyah's tragic death in 2001 left a void in the music world, as she was widely regarded as one of the most talented and promising artists of her generation. However, her career was marred by the controversies surrounding her relationship with R. Kelly. The singer's untimely death in a plane crash further deepened the mystery, with some rumors suggesting that there may have been foul play involved. This section would investigate Aaliyah's legacy, the influence of her collaborations with R. Kelly, and the possibility of darker forces at play surrounding her death. The role of figures like Jay-Z and Diddy in Aaliyah's life and career would also be examined, as well as the aftermath of her passing on the industry and her fan base. Ice Cube's allegations, standing up to the hip-hop giants. While many in the hip-hop industry prefer to keep their heads down and avoid controversy, Ice Cube has always been vocal about the issues he sees within the industry. His outspokenness has led to tension with figures like Diddy and Jay-Z, who are often seen as part of the elite group controlling the music business. Cube's recent remarks about the shady dealings in Hollywood and the music industry have raised eyebrows, particularly when it comes to his observations about Jay-Z's involvement in certain questionable practices. This section would explore Ice Cube's rise as a solo artist and businessman, his history of challenging authority in the industry, and the alleged tensions between him and other hip-hop moguls. The power of public relations and image control. In Hollywood and the music industry, image is everything. Public relations teams work tirelessly to manage the narratives surrounding celebrities, ensuring that their flaws are hidden and their strengths highlighted. The way in which Jay-Z, Diddy, and other figures have used PR to protect their public images has been a key factor in their continued success, despite the numerous allegations against them. This section would dive deep into the role of PR in shaping the careers of these figures, how they've managed to maintain their public personas, and the lengths they've gone to in order to avoid public scrutiny. The narrative of their success has often been carefully constructed, and the dark side of this manipulation is often swept under the rug. The alleged cover-ups and industry secrets. The music industry has long been accused of covering up uncomfortable truths, especially when it comes to the treatment of women and the exploitation of young artists. The stories surrounding R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and Diddy illustrate how power, money, and influence can silence victims and protect the perpetrators of these crimes. This section would investigate the various cover-ups and industry secrets that have been brushed aside, often by those in power. It would include an exploration of how systemic abuse and corruption in the industry are perpetuated by the elite, and how these figures have managed to avoid facing the consequences of their actions. The culture of silence, why victims are often left in the shadows. One of the most troubling aspects of the music industry is the culture of silence that surrounds many of its most powerful figures. Victims of abuse and exploitation are often left to suffer in silence, as their stories are overshadowed by the fame and influence of their abusers. This section would focus on the victims who have been ignored or silenced by the industry, including those who have come forward to speak out against the likes of R. Kelly, Diddy, and Jay-Z. It would explore the psychological, emotional, and professional toll that these individuals have faced, and the challenges they encounter when trying to get their stories heard. The reckoning of the hip-hop giants. As the industry faces increasing scrutiny over its past and present practices, the question remains: will the powerful figures who have dominated the music world for decades ever truly face the consequences of their actions? This conclusion would examine the ongoing battles of these hip-hop giants, the changing attitudes of the public, and the potential for real change within the industry. It would also reflect on the legacies of figures like Jay-Z, Diddy, and Ice Cube, and whether their past actions will ever fully be exposed, or if they will continue to enjoy their untouchable status. The Tangled Web, Jay-Z's alleged connections to R. Kelly and Aaliyah. The murky history between Jay-Z and R. Kelly has been a topic of discussion for many years. As two influential figures in the music industry, During the late 90s and early 2000s, their partnership seemed to be a strategic move, but there are darker allegations surrounding their relationship. One of the most significant and troubling chapters involves their connection to Aaliyah, the late R&B icon who tragically passed away in 2001. R. Kelly was infamously involved with Aaliyah, even marrying her when she was just 15 years old, a secret that would later become public after the marriage was annulled. What is particularly concerning is that Jay-Z, who was close to both R. Kelly and Aaliyah, continued his professional relationship with Kelly despite these problematic events. Rumors have persisted that Jay-Z was well aware of R. Kelly's inappropriate behavior, including the alleged abuse of young girls, and that he possibly covered up for him in various ways. Jay-Z and R. Kelly famously collaborated on a joint album and toured together, with little regard for the growing scandal surrounding Kelly. The hip-hop mogul's silence on the issue and his willingness to continue associating with Kelly despite his reputation has led some to question his moral compass. Ice Cube's growing influence and its impact on Jay-Z and Diddy. Ice Cube, a pioneer in the rap world and a fearless voice in the entertainment industry, has made a name for himself not only through his music, but also through his outspoken political and social views. While the media often focuses on the high-profile feuds and controversies of figures like Diddy and Jay-Z, Ice Cube has consistently used his platform to challenge the status quo, calling out the wrongs in the industry. In recent years, his words have carried even more weight, especially as more people begin to question the practices of the powerhouses of hip-hop, including Diddy and Jay-Z. One of Ice Cube's boldest moves was his decision to speak out against the corruption in the music industry, especially regarding the exploitation of artists and the shadowy dealings behind the scenes. These statements have raised eyebrows, particularly when it comes to figures like Jay-Z and Diddy, who have long been considered untouchable giants in the industry. Rumors have surfaced that Ice Cube may possess insider knowledge about their past dealings, including information that could potentially damage their reputations even further. The tension between these two camps is palpable, with Cube suggesting that both Jay-Z and Diddy are not as squeaky clean as they project. This has led many to wonder if Ice Cube is positioning himself to be a major whistleblower, revealing secrets that could reshape the public perception of these figures forever. Diddy's legal battles and their impact on his legacy. Sean "Diddy" Combs, one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop and entertainment, has long been a subject of fascination. Known for his success as a producer, label owner, and businessman, Diddy's influence in the industry cannot be overstated. However, his legacy has been severely marred in recent years by a series of legal battles and public scandals that have threatened to undo much of the good he has achieved. The most notable of these battles centers around accusations of abuse and exploitation by several women, including Cassie, who filed a lawsuit alleging that Diddy subjected her to years of emotional and physical abuse. In addition to these claims, Diddy is also facing a myriad of other lawsuits, including accusations that he was involved in shady business dealings and that his record label mistreated artists. These controversies have led many to question Diddy's integrity and have cast a shadow over his illustrious career. As more women come forward with similar allegations, the public's perception of Diddy has begun to shift, with many people wondering if the man who once represented the pinnacle of success in hip-hop is now at risk of falling from grace. The potential fallout from these legal issues could be disastrous, both personally and professionally. The future of his empire is uncertain, and many wonder if this will be the end of Diddy's reign in the entertainment world. Jay-Z's alleged involvement in shady industry. Practices Jay-Z has built a reputation as a business mogul and a master of the hip-hop game. However, as his empire grew, so did the rumors about his involvement in shady industry practices. From alleged exploitation of his artists to rumored ties with controversial figures, Jay-Z's career is not as pristine as it may seem. One of the most disturbing allegations centers around his dealings with various artists, particularly female singers and rappers. There are reports suggesting that Jay-Z may have manipulated the careers of some of his artists, including Tiara Marie, to further his own ambitions, while leaving them to fend for themselves once they no longer suited his needs. In addition to these allegations, there are whispers of Jay-Z's behind-the-scenes influence, with many claiming that he used his power and connections to push his own agenda in the industry. The most notable example of this is his role in the rise of Rihanna, who, despite being a talented artist in her own right, benefited greatly from Jay-Z's mentorship and guidance. Some suggest that Jay-Z's relationship with Rihanna may have been part of a larger plan to remove competition, including Tiara Marie from the label. These allegations paint a picture of an artist who is more calculating and ruthless than he has ever let on. The dark side of Jay-Z's empire is not just limited to his business practices, but extends to his personal relationships and the way he allegedly used his influence to control those around him. The unsettling story of Foxy Brown and Jay-Z's alleged involvement. Foxy Brown's relationship with Jay-Z is one of the most talked about and controversial in hip-hop history. Foxy, who rose to fame as a teenage prodigy in the rap scene, found herself entangled in a complicated relationship with Jay-Z that began when she was just 14 years old. Their early collaborations, such as their duet "Ain't No Natan Like the One I Got," caused people to raise eyebrows due to the explicit nature of the lyrics, particularly considering Foxy's young age at the time. The industry was quick to speculate about the nature of their relationship, and many believed that Jay-Z may have been more than just a mentor to Foxy. In a later song, Jay-Z tried to distance himself from the rumors, claiming that he never got physically involved with Foxy, but the damage had already been done. Despite his protestations, Foxy later spoke out, revealing her discomfort with the way their relationship had been portrayed and the pressure she felt as a young woman in the music industry. She admitted that she was shocked by some of the things Jay-Z said in his song, but she also expressed a sense of loyalty to him, despite the alleged manipulation. This complex and problematic dynamic is reflective of the ways in which the music industry often exploits young artists, particularly women, and the ways in which their stories are distorted by those in power. The Aaliyah tragedy. Was it more than just an accident? The tragic death of Aaliyah in 2001 sent shockwaves through the music world, leaving fans and the industry alike mourning the loss of one of the brightest stars in R&B. However, over the years, rumors have circulated that Aaliyah's death was not just a tragic accident, but the result of a much darker conspiracy. Some have speculated that there was foul play involved, particularly in relation to the people who were closest to her at the time of her death. Among these figures were R. Kelly and Jay-Z, both of whom had close ties to Aaliyah. According to various accounts, Aaliyah had expressed concerns about getting on the small plane that would eventually crash, killing her and 8 others. A witness claimed that she had been reluctant to board the plane, even turning back at one point before being convinced by her team to go. After the crash, it was revealed that the pilot had a dubious history, including allegedly faking his license and being under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time of the flight. These details led some to question whether the crash was truly an accident or if there were other factors at play, especially considering the high-profile nature of Aaliyah's relationships with R. Kelly and Jay-Z. Jay-Z's relationship with Beyoncé, power, control, and allegations of manipulation. One of the most publicized relationships in entertainment is that of Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The two music moguls have long been regarded as the ultimate power couple, with their combined influence shaping not only the music industry, but also fashion, business, and culture. However, behind the public image of their flawless marriage, there have been numerous rumors and allegations suggesting that Jay-Z's relationship with Beyoncé may not be as perfect as it appears. Among these are claims that Jay-Z has used manipulation and control tactics to keep Beyoncé in check, even allegedly giving her drugs to maintain her compliance. This dark narrative surrounding their relationship raises questions about the true nature of their marriage and the dynamics of power within it. Some insiders have suggested that Jay-Z's control over Beyoncé extends beyond just business, with reports claiming that he manipulates her both professionally and personally. These allegations have painted Jay-Z as a domineering figure who is willing to do whatever it takes to maintain his control over his empire, including manipulating his partner. The contrast between the public image of their relationship and these more sinister claims suggests that there is much more to the story than meets the eye.